Hi everybody, so with a week to go until the release of Call of Duty's new Pacific Warzone map, Caldera, a week as I record this video, I thought we would go through the blog post. Now this came out a couple of days ago, but I like to stay in the loop with this sort of stuff, so let's see what they've got in store. A paradise for combat on an incredible scale. Caldera is ready to kick off the first season of Vanguard and Warzone Pacific on December the 8th, with Vanguard owners getting 24 hours of exclusive play access to the Warzone Pacific map. This is what you need to know before you drop into Caldera and the latest Season 1 intel. Welcome to Paradise. Warzone Pacific launches with Vanguard Season 1. It was a simpler time then, but the work is never done. Captain Butcher, Call of Duty Warzone Pacific. Deep underneath downtown Verdansk, the CIA's most elite task force uncovers a German World War II bunker on August 24th, 1984, after dealing with Stitch. Following the sounds of a potential intruder within the tunnel system, they find a bunker with intel from a bygone era, along with the familiar voice of Captain Butcher mocking the task force for their lack of stealth. In charge of the British Special Operations Executive, SOE, during World War II, Butcher created multiple Special Operation Task Forces, SOTF, including the original group Vanguard, to ensure the total elimination of Axis forces that escaped following the war. Adler, Woods, Mason and Hudson stand down to hear this story, one that echoes their mission of eradicating Perseus once and for all, and they learn that it all started in the Pacific. On December 8th, your legendary journey in Warzone Pacific begins with Season 1 Call of Duty Vanguard and Warzone Pacific. With a brand new map built on learnings from the community, Warzone Pacific marks a new era of pulse-pounding tactical combat on a massive scale, featuring a dedicated playlist with the new vehicles and Vanguard weapons. Warzone Pacific's first season kicks off another year of free content, all based in your own grand epic of stamping out the last of the Axis resistance. Welcome to Paradise, the new home for Warzone Pacific known as Caldera. There she is. Now apparently it's about the same size as Verdansk, so I know people have done some Operation Vulcan, December the 8th, 1944, somewhere in the Pacific. So we've got all these different areas. Looks like they've got everything packed in like Verdansk, which is good. On December the 8th, Vanguard owners will receive 24 hours of exclusive access. Caldera comprises 15 huge, distinct areas to explore and fight across once Operation Vulcan begins. There are also hundreds of lesser points of interest to investigate and to use to your tactical advantage. Get ready to explore Caldera with our topographical overview as we reconnoitre this dormant volcano from north to south. So the Naval Arsenal. So that's like a dry dock there, isn't it? Looks good. Composed of a sprawling shipyard and an advanced base, Caldera's northwest area provides a mix of interior and exterior combat opportunities, as well as unusual tactical positions such as the deep dry dock basins. Further inland is a cluster of large buildings, a command centre, admin structure, barracks, compound, training course and a firing range, with beaches and a small radar array found east of the main arsenal. Industrial docks. The Runway. Whilst the main airfield in Caldera Tunnel airstrip to the southwest see most of the aircraft's takeoffs and landings, there's a secondary runway in the northeastern corner of Caldera for those stationed at the beachhead or Arsenal Docks complex. With the area half hidden in the jungle, you'll navigate past single dwellings and ruined farmsteads and clamber across rugged, buttress rocks to reach this coastal promontory, complete with a runway of dirt. Further into the jungle is a military command centre with its own share of secrets, because obviously with Caldera we're getting aeroplanes. Not quite, I haven't really seen any details of them yet. The impression we got from previous blog entries was that you can fly them around and provide air support for your squad. Ruins. Hey, they've been nicking it from PUBG. The phosphate mines. Again, that looks like PUBG for Miramar. Peak. This is the high ground. That looks very modern for World War II, doesn't it? These concrete blocks. This is dominating the centre of the map is a colossal peak of a dormant volcano, after which the entire island is named. The high advantage you receive for landing atop the Caldera Throat and Axis military battery installation under construction here is counterbalanced by the exposed nature of the environment. Rock outcrops can offer respite should the area become a hot drop, as can the main gondola station that shuttles from the peak towards the runway. Oh, or the magma chamber that was built during its slumber. Oh, I wonder if that's an active cable car then. That would be cool, wouldn't it? I know they have one on the Alcatraz map, don't they? It looks a bit like the building from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. You know that map that was on the side of the... That was on the side of a volcano, wasn't it? And then halfway through the map, the gases would come out and you'd have to go to the second part of the map. Beachhead. Cool. River Village. Be interesting to see these areas here, these terraces, how easy it is to get over them. Lots of cover though everywhere. Clear Water Lagoon. An old lighthouse proudly overlooks a shallow bay that holds generation-spanning bamboo huts alongside a quaint coastal community with more recently constructed homes. Traverse the lagoon to uncover its secrets, including what remains of Captain Butcher's plane. Ooh. Caldera Terminal. The Agricultural Centre. Shark's Lair Submarine Pen. Ooh, that looks cool. In fact, we're going back to Battlefield 1. The submarine pens on the Mole. Was it the Mole? Yeah. Or pens in Vanguard. Caldera Power Plant. Caldera Capital City. The Royal Cabana Resort. Nice hotel. Nice pink stone there. Warzone Pacific Day 1 playlist. Outside of Caldera, which Vanguard owners can access on December the 8th before all players drop on December the 9th. Warzone Pacific will overflow with new content, including all operators and weapons from Vanguard as part of the integration. The Vanguard integration. All operators, weapons and personalization content coming on December the 8th. When Season 1 launches on December the 8th, all Warzone players can gain access to everything that Vanguard brought to the arsenal, including 40 weapons, the core 38 weapons from Vanguard's launch, plus 2 free functional weapons in the Season 1 Battle Pass. Over a dozen operators, each of the operators from Special Operations Task Force 02 to 05 are ready to drop in alongside Special Operations Task Force 006 arriving this season. Calling cards, emblems and more. At the start of the season, cross-progression between Vanguard and Warzone will be enabled, allowing you to rank up through the seasonal prestige and unlock new content through the Battle Pass and challenges. Also, expect the store in both games to contain new bundles featuring Vanguard content. So what will happen is the skins you'll be able to buy in the shop will become... the skins you get from the Battle Pass will be Warzone and Vanguard skins only, and you won't be able to use those in Black Ops Cold War or Modern Warfare 2019. That's kind of the way it works. You'll still be able to buy those skins within those games, but for example, if you buy a skin for Adler in Cold War, you can use that in Cold War multiplayer and the non-Vanguard playlist in Warzone, but you won't be able to use that in Vanguard. But that's the way it kind of is. They have to stop somewhere. You can imagine that the amount of data that they must have to store now in the game files, so that there's all these skins for all of these different players over all of these games. 3 games now. Available to all players, with Vanguard players getting exclusive access. Yeah, okay. Vanguard Royale leads Season 1's featured playlist rotation with a game mode that puts a fresh set of vehicles and a streamlined loadout and weapon pool on the brand new map. Specifically, there are 2 major differences between a Vanguard Royale and the traditional Battle Royale. New vehicles and dogfighting. Fly fighter planes that rain down fire on foes, or head for the AA guns or trucks to shoot them out of the skies. There are also other ground-based vehicles, including a squad transport all-terrain car that will help your squad cut through and around the island. Yeah, so there we go. So we can fly airplanes. A focus on Vanguard weapons. Loadouts can only contain Vanguard weaponry, streamlining the meta for more accessibility and room for experimentation. Expect all weapons around the island to be also from Vanguard. Circle collapse changes, in-game events and more. The radii and times for circle collapses are altered to offer a different pace of play, especially with dogfighting overhead. Also expect an in-game event at each circle collapse, bombing runs and different items. So what they're saying here is there's going to be basically Vanguard Battle Royale, where it's going to be World War II themed. One of the reasons for this as well is so that new players coming in who have just got Vanguard aren't outclassed by people who've been playing Warzone for the last sort of 3 years, 2 years, and have got loadouts set up. Got their perfect loadout from Modern Warfare that they use that's maxed out. No recoil ARs and all this sort of stuff. So that's cool, and also it will give it a more of World War II theme. So it sounds exciting. So during the early access time, all Warzone players can drop onto Rebirth Island, and then Caldera will become accessible. Expect a special one-day only Rebirth Island playlist, both Resurgence and Minuel, to drop right at the start of the season before everything shifts to Caldera. During the season, featured playlists will include returns to Rebirth Island for Regencies and other game modes, and a new limited time game mode will focus on Caldera, such as Vanguard Plunder, its own Vanguard Resurgence mode presented by Beanox, and other festive surprises. Innovations and additions. With an entirely map to explore, playlists to claim victory on, and fresh armaments to utilise, expect additional initiatives and gameplay innovations from all studios who work on Warzone, including the following: the Gulag. The Gulag now gives you more than a second chance of victory. When Warzone Pacific drops, any player who wins a Gulag will drop back in with a weapon or weapons and lethal equipment given during that deadly duel. That's a cool idea. Those who survived Iron Trials 84, the mode where the feature was first tested, may know a pro strategy involving loadout conservation. Any ammo and remaining equipment carries over between the Gulag and the redeploy. Deal with the enemy efficiently and you'll have more exposure back in tech. That's interesting, isn't it? So don't use all your bullets, don't use your throwables. Loadout items. Dead silence is being nerfed, stopping power rounds are gone. In addition to detailing these exact changes, Raven Software looked closely at various equipment pieces such as nerfed to stun grenades and heartbeat sensors. They also took another look at dual-wielding melee weapons, the Kali stick and Sai, to give justice to all ghosts who lived the second life too short during the haunting. The result? Expect the aforementioned equipment and weapons to be adjusted to be less potent in the Warzone, along with gun butting no longer being the primary method of attack on the Caldera. That's interesting. So that means we're still in oh no. Okay, so what's going to be happening there is, in the Vanguard Royale, you're not going to have heartbeat sensors, are you? But in the normal one, you will, the normal playlist. But they're going to nerf heartbeat sensors and stun grenades. Along with these nerfs, several lethal and tactical equipment pieces will see much needed buffs. Most lethal equipment will deal more damage, while the snapshot grenade will see its effective range increase. The stim will also apply a slight movement boost, and decoy grenade will pack rubber bullets that deal just enough damage to pester enemies. Gas masks won't interrupt as many actions as they did previously, making it easy to pull your gas mask off or on, as well as plating up or reloading a weapon while getting out of the circle collapse, but still always favouring the combat advantage to those safely inside the circle. That'd be interesting. I mean, how many times have you died as you've gone to shoot someone and your gas mask has been put on or pulled off when it's gone to hipfire? Gas masks may offer a modicum of protection against explosive canisters, a brand new item developed by High Moon Studios. If these canisters explode, they release a small cloud of non-toxic smoke into the atmosphere. So, red barrels, basically. After picking one up in Caldera, try lighting the fuse and you can pick them up and throwing a canister, or clipping it onto an ascender to send a nice gift to someone who overstayed their welcome on high ground. Alternatively, since it requires both hands to carry, simply shooting someone carrying it or dropping one you're carrying, stepping out of the blast radius and firing at it could make it effective. So they are quite big, so you can put them onto one of those ropes that goes up the side of a building and send it up. Shallow water. Operators are now able to wade through shallow water seen in areas like the lagoon. Walking within water makes it harder to see footsteps, even to those operators with a tracker perked. Crouch in knee-high water and you'll gain the effects of cold-blooded, but you cannot go prone. Speaking of science, fire-based equipment now causes smoke when it hits water, adding a new layer of tactics. Contracts and public events. During a match, squads can find new contracts to complete, such as supply drop contract, which airlifts a valuable crate onto the map for anyone to pick up, but only has its exact location revealed by the contracted squad. Big game bounty, which targets the operator with the highest kill count, but only once per game. While another, known as top secret contract, is as one could expect. We don't know what it is until you pick it up, but comes with greater rewards. As for public events, expect restocks and resurgencies from Rebirth Island to come to Caldera, in addition to the cash drops event you may have seen during Operation Flashback. There is also rumours of something weapon crates that can appear around the island, which contain the coveted weapon blueprints seen in Verdansk, probably zombie ones, and armaments extracted from the meta-forward galaxy brains of the studio's gunsmith gurus. Ricochet anti-cheat. So Ricochet is a kernel level anti-cheat that PC players are going to have to install if they want to play Warzone. So it's good, especially for Xbox players and PlayStation players who are forced to play cross-play. I know PlayStation players, you can turn it off. Xbox, you can't, so less PC cheaters, the better. That will give me more comfort, more confidence to play it. That's one of the reasons why I don't play much Warzone at the moment, because I'm just not confident that I'm not coming up against PC cheaters. Secrets of the Pacific. So there is an event that's going on at the moment. There we go. So my friends, we've learned quite a lot there about the new Warzone Pacific map, Caldera, coming out in approximately a week's time. What do you think? I'll put a link to this blog post in the description below the video, and I'll see you again soon.